All right, we're in an area known as Southlake, Texas. This is kind of where I grew up. I grew up in Roanoke on the borderline of Keller. When I was younger, it was known as Roanoke. Then it turned into Keller for a little bit. Then it turned into Carroll. And now it's actually Westlake. This is the Southlake area right here. There is Roanoke Road. We lived pretty much right off this road at a place called Randall Mill. That's Roanoke right there. Roanoke Road. See the other one? It's a farming community.
Alright.
Papa's on the porch, Mama's in the kitchen, making her braids, TV in space, screen tones red, little bit of wine, falling boys to the night. Taxmen say, the farm got ignorant, sign on the line. Got a little time, getting kind of red, turning all away, falling blue. Falling blue to the fray. Kids in the backyard. Dog in the bone. Chicken running circles all alone. Angels in the front yard put the dog in the hall. There goes chicken circling y'all. She's still turning red, a little bit of white, till she falls blue to the night. Still turning red, a little bit white. In the false blue to the night. And in the false blue to the nice. Tell old red, little Miss White, falling blue to the night. Tell little red, Miss Old White, they're gonna fall blue to the night. Hey cows, have y'all come across a heifer named Adam the Woo?
Oh no, go.
Oh, he said yes right there.
Okay.
You see him shaking his head?
Yeah, I know.
They're not gonna get
Here
you.
we
Linda.
go. There's a lot of
He stinks, he's from Florida. All right, I'll let him know. Thanks, cows. They said Adam needs to put it down. That's what they told me. That Adam the Woo is over with. Couple of years when he turns 50, he'll drop it. We're entering a place called Keller, Texas. This is pretty much where I was from. I'm from Keller, Texas.
Ow.
Still kind of red, turn a little white, till she falls blue to the night. Still turning red, little bit white. In the false blue to the nice. Tell old red, little Miss White, falling blue to the night. Tell little red, Miss Old White, they're gonna fall blue to the night. Tuscany's right there. It's a little neighborhood suburb. Fox Lane is where we're gonna go. And I got many stories about Fox Lane. A long time ago, there was a redheaded kid. We were in junior high. He liked to jog all the time. His dad was in computers. He lived off Fox Lane. He lived off Fox Lane when it was a dirt road. It used to be a dirt road. So he would try to beat the bus home because the bus had to go down many routes and drop off kids. So he would start running from the school And he would be there at his house before the bus got there. And we would see him running during the, the different routes, because it would pass by him. He'd still be jogging. He'd jog all the way from Bear Creek Intermediate to his place on Fox Lane, which is going to be on the left coming up here. I don't know if his dad was cruel, but we made an agreement to fight, and we met on Fox Lane. And when I finally met him there to fight him, he was all red and upset. And I said, let's do it. And he just kind of stood there, and I just kind of stood there. And we never fought. We talked about meeting and fighting, but we just stood there looking at each other. And no one took the first swing. But if we were on campus, if we were right there at school and everyone looking, you got better believe we fought. But no one was looking, so we just stood there. My friend Sean, who's known as Scro, he lived down this road right here called Robin, right off Mount Gilead. That's where Sean lived. And he got into culinary school. He's a cook. He also has his own place and property in Oregon, and he goes by Scro. This area here, we had a computer hacker as a kid, and he would get people's credit card information and order packages off his computer. This was like early 1980s. The time War Games was out with Matthew Broderick. War Games is a movie called, it's a movie called War Games. The Matthew Broderick time. About that time, he was ordering parts for computers. He was ordering all kinds of stuff, and they would drop it off at these people's houses. He'd even order like samurai swords and stuff, and then he would go and then pick it up on his own. He did it all on his own. The FBI were alerted of his hacking ability. And this is before dial-up. No one knows how he did it. But he would call the companies and give them the credit card information. But I think he used the computer to store it all, the information, in order only to order a little bit from each computer, because he got a hold of a lot of people's credit card information. This is way before dial-up. And those are the type of computers where you would put in a flop. It wasn't even a floppy disk. It was more floppy than you think. It actually flopped for real. It was a big square disk. He's probably working for Microsoft now. This is Keller Smithfield Road right here. Down there, I had some friends that liked Pink Floyd. Right here off of Keller Smithfield. Now there's a weather ball. The weather ball, yeah, but I'm going to be right, though, because he knows where I'm going, which will wrap around Fox Lane, won't it? The weather ball is right here. It gets weather information. Papa's on the porch, Mama's in the kitchen, making her grades, TV in space, screen tones red, little bit wide, falling boys to the night. Taxmen say, farm got ignorant, sign on the line, got a little time, getting kinda red, turn it all away, falling blue into the fray. Kids in the backyard, dog in the bone, chicken running circles all alone. Angels in the front yard, put the dog in the hall. There goes chicken, circling y'all. She's still turning red, a little bit wide, till she falls blue in the night. Turning red, turning white, into the false blue, to the nice. Tell old red, little bit white.
No, bad idea.
Yeah, you're right about that, Linda.
There's a lot of screws.
Till we fall blue to the night. We'll try Chandler. We're on Chandler Road right now.
Okay. Whatever.
This is Chandler Road.
Oh man, he missed that cool squirrel right there. Had a really brown chest.
Yeah, the other one had a white tail. Tell old red,
There's another one.
little bit white, till we fall blue to the night. Tell old red, miss old white, falling blue to the night. Tell little red, miss old white, they're gonna fall blue to the night. We're gonna get to Fox Lane in just a minute. Now, where we're headed right now is, this is a road I got arrested on. Not this one particular, but I'm gonna show you that road. What happened was, I was on a road way out in Louisville, and it was a school zone, but it went over a bridge. There was a bridge that you couldn't see the yellow lights. So I got lasered by a black cop, and he pulled me over and signed the ticket. And then I went to a black law firm out in Arlington. It was a black lawyer, and he got it deferred, but I was never notified it was deferred. So I was arrested here in Keller, Texas, because of a traffic ticket that I thought was going to be dismissed by a law office out in Arlington. I found them online. My dad had to drive way down here to pick me up, and I was vlogging a truck that had a flag on it that said, "Don't tread on me." And then the cop came all the way over, right out there, saw me that quick, came over, pulled me over, and arrested me right down here. My father came by to get the vehicle. I went to jail for 17 hours. I called Linda, I called everybody I knew. An anonymous person bailed me out. I'm not gonna give the names because I was asked not to. It wasn't Bradley Cooper. That's who I thought it was that bailed me out. I didn't think anyone else would bail me out but Bradley. But it turned out to be someone else. Or at least someone's making claim for it. I still to this day don't know who bailed me out. I didn't have the $300, or no, it was $400 to get out of jail. So I asked my dad. My dad said, "Why don't you effing pay it?" and hung up on me. So I no longer see my dad. And from that point on, I have not seen my dad. But the night that he picked me up from jail to take me back to the car. Then I have not visited him since then, because my dad asked me not to. Now, the traffic ticket was over. I was going 30 and a 20 in a school zone. I wasn't vlogging at the time, and it happened in Louisville off a place I believe called Fox. The road was called Fox, which is similar to where we're going, but not in the same area. It's a common name for a road. We're passing Pearson right here. The cop was younger. I have no paperwork on the police officer. I do not have the badge number. I do not have the rank. I do not have the association. I don't know if he works for Keller Police Department. And I don't have the title. I don't have his name. He didn't give me any information at all. No information. Gave me a little piece of paper that had a date on it. I don't even know where that piece of paper is. I may have put it in a file known as law, but it's probably archived. But I am going to tell you the road that I went on when the arrest happened. And we're coming there right now. So my dad got a friend, because my dad's back is really bad. So my dad got a friend to come by and get the vehicle. He pulled me over right here. I believe This is probably maybe, it's got a similar name. No, that's not it. I don't know if he was here. I need. This is where my grandma almost died. It's Watermere, South Lake. And she was retired here before she died. That's Marie Spivey. She lived here for a couple of years. Angel and I saw her. I don't know where he was posted. I'm trying to find out. But he pulled right out, made a turn. He went from the middle lane. I'm going to show you what he did on the opposite side. He went to the middle lane. He turned the vehicle here, went right behind me and turned his lights on that quick. So there's no way he could have known that quick. It was this road. Jellicoe, I think is the name. It was that road right there. They have two of them, Jellicoe Circle and Jellicoe Lane. That was the road he was on. I'm gonna reenact it right now so you understand what happened. So you know exactly what happened to a certain extent. I was vlogging down this road right here. River Oaks is one of this road. The road I'm on is South Lake. This is South Lake Road. I'm gonna show you where he was posted when I drove by him. He's no longer a police officer today. This is what I got from my church right there. Where he was posted and where he pulled me over. I was driving right down here. He was posted right here on Jellicoe. Right there. That's where he was posted. That little tiny road right there. That's Jellicoe. I was right here on the middle lane, driving this way. He was over here on this lane. He pulled into my center lane, turned the lights on. I drove over this way. It was Jellicoe Circle. I pulled over this way to get off of traffic because he was creating a traffic problem. He did his business all right here where he molested me. I was pulled over about right here where he touched my penis. Right about right over here. And he put his hand just like this, right on top of my penis. Then he walked me back to his car and he put me in the back of his vehicle. Then what he did was he got a hold of my phone and he called my father to come get him. He's in prison right now. Okay, let's pull it back up this way. For molesting one of his victims. The car was probably somewhere along here. It looks like this has all been changed right here. It doesn't look the same. Somewhere around here is where it happened. I'm gonna go back around this way and double check before we go to Fox Lane to make sure he wasn't posted here. Let me go around this way. I don't know if there's a record of the rest. I don't know if he turned everything off because they don't like losing their jobs. But I did go to jail for 17 hours over a parking ticket that I told him that I was fighting. I was fighting that parking ticket with a law office. It was probably here. Yep, Vermilion Court. It was Vermilion Court. He was probably posted back there. This is where he got me. The molestation happened right here. That's where he touched my penis, right about here, right there. That's where it happened. And I'll act it out exactly how it happened. All right. This is Vermilion Road. My car was parked probably somewhere over here. The officer was parked right here. The supervisor came up right behind him over this way. His car was probably about right here. No, his car was probably about right here. The supervisor's car was probably about right here. Did not get the supervisor's name. He was a short white guy with short hair. He got out of his vehicle and he walked up to my car just like this. He approached my car at about this angle right here. Stood right here, tapped on the window, rolled the window down. He got the information over this way. He went back to his car and sat there. He came back over here on the outside of the car. He tapped on this window right here. I rolled down the window. He says, you got a warrant, speeding warrant, whatever. whatever he said, some kind of warrants out on you, blah, blah. Shut the door back this way. The supervisor went ahead and left. I heard him say, I'm not gonna frisk him. Supervisor left that way. He came back over this way. He walked up to my vehicle over here. He opened the car. He said, I need you to step out. I stepped out. I should have asked for the supervisor. I didn't know my legal rights at the time. He shut the door over this way, turned around, he cuffed me right here. Then he took his hand, and he did this. Just like that. And that's the whole frisking right there. That's all he did on the frisking. Check the camera. Then he moved over this way. He put me in the back of his car right there. He called my father. His car was right here. He got my phone, took the phone, and he made a phone call to my father. Because I told him he could pick up the car. He got in front of his car here and sat there while I was handcuffed. My mask was in my hand. I never had the chance to put the mask over my hand. This was during Corona. I was in the back of his vehicle. He allowed me to call my father. My father came, got the car, and took the car away. My mask remained in my hand until I got to the jail cell and was frisked there. They asked me if I wanted to commit suicide. I told them, no, why would you even ask? They asked me, do I have anything to hope for? I told them, yeah, I have plenty to hope for. I know Jesus Christ. I didn't say those words exactly, but I said I have plenty to hope for. Now we're gonna look for Fox Lane. Now, to let you know, if he does not ask for forgiveness for what he did, he will burn in hell. You can't do that to another man. I'm a father of 3 children. But I want you to know that he molested me that day. Now, we're gonna go down this road to Fox Lane. We're still in Keller right now. The road that we're going on is known as Pearson. My school bus used to go down this road, Pearson Road. This will lead me to a road called Fox Lane, where I went to fight this redheaded kid in junior high at Bear Creek Intermediate School. And it shall work. This is Keller, Texas. My friend Richard Long lived right up this way in a trailer house. He used to tell me about the porn that he would watch all the time. Some porn about a robot. Somewhere along here. My friend Verlo lived in a house over here. He was Native American. His father was a driver, a delivery driver for diesel trucks. Like a truck driver is what they say, the slang name. He lived over here and had a pool, a swimming pool. We used to go to it all the time. That sign right there says City of Keller. You can see it as it goes behind this big thing right here. That's where we are in the city of Keller. It was Vermilion Court. That was where the arrest record happened for the no payment. And I went to a law office in Arlington and paid them. And last time I did that, they dismissed the ticket. I told him, I had the paperwork right in there. I didn't want to reach in it because of Biden's sermon that he gave. Biden said, oh, you reach in that glove box and they'll shoot you. The glove box is where we keep our legal documents. We're going to Fox Lane, not Johnson. Down there is where I went to elementary school in a place called Florence Elementary. It's the first time I ever met a friend right there in that house. My mom took me there. The first time I ever met a friend. Played Legos together. We're about to go to Fox Lane. Florence is coming up. This is Florence. Florence Elementary is off this road. That's Florence Road. That's where I met Mrs. Richardson, my 3rd grade teacher. Her daughter was an actress. And Mrs. Richardson told us that her daughter was learning how to smoke cigarettes with herbal cigarettes because she did not want to really smoke cigarettes. So she learned how to smoke, not Miss Richardson, but her daughter. Her daughter learned how to smoke cigarettes with herbal cigarettes. And she told us about that in 3rd grade. And I asked Miss Richardson, what's an actor? And she told me what an actor is. It's a person that pretends like there's someone else on the stage for theater arts. Later on, I would decide to make myself an actor, and later on, I would decide to go to school to study acting and theater arts at Texas Wesleyan and at the University of North Texas. That's where I decided to go to school. And then later on, I ended up at the Actor Studio in New York City, the greatest acting school of all time. That's where James Dean went and Marlon Brando. Robert Duvall went there, Robert De Niro and Harvey Keitel. Dustin Hoffman's been seen there. Fox Lane right here. Let me show you how it's spelled. Spelled differently for where I got the ticket in Louisville. That's F-O-X. This is spelled F-A-W-K-E-S. I'll try to show it to you. F-A-W-K-E-S. Right there. That's Fox Lane. If I go more in an angle here, you can see the F right there. Fox Lane. Right there. Right off Pearson. And I was in junior high. It was probably in the early 80s. It was the early 80s. And he used to run every day from junior high all the way down here. This was all dirt road back in the early 80s. I was born in 73. This probably went on in 84, 85. Not too far from the time when Goonies came out. You know, we were all getting ready to watch Goonies. This was all dirt road. And the school bus would make a big dirt trail right behind us. All dirt trail everywhere. Now, I also dated a girl named Amy Cruson. And she was the first girl I ever kissed. And I went to go tell her a secret in her ear. And I tried to kiss her on the cheek. And she turned her ear and I kissed her in the ear rather than the cheek. I tried for the cheek, but it got to the ear. Because I said, hey, I'm going to tell you a secret. And that's not a good one because they'll just point their ear at you. And then I kissed the ear instead.